So today we're going to be talking about everyone's favourite pirate watch.
I'm Luke.
I'm Anthony.
And yeah, Clockbait is our channel. We're two mates that talk bollocks about watches. So if that's the kind of things that you're into...
Why wouldn't you be, to be fair?
Exactly. Give that subscribe a little nudge, whack the bell, and it helps us out because it means that we get to see that people actually like what we do, and it just means that we'll keep on making a few of these videos.
Yeah,
so
it encourages us further. So yeah, thanks a lot for your support. What we're actually discussing today is the Rado Captain Cook.
Rado... What do we say?
Oh, I don't know, and we're not going to do that stupid Scottish watches thing where we phone them up and ask them how it's actually pronounced, because quite frankly...
Hello.
I don't care. Rado, whatever. But yeah, it's the Captain Cook reissue, 1963, limited edition, so limited to 1,963 pieces. Marketing genius.
It is. Yeah, there we go.
That's how you should do limited edition, Amiga, so take note. Basically, it's just a really good reissue. Should we just jump into the specs?
Should we do a quick spec check?
Spec check, yeah.
Spec check like that.
Yeah, so it is a 37.3mm case diameter, 43mm lug to lug, 19mm lug width, and 11mm thick. And then it has an ETA movement, doesn't it, Luke?
ETA movement, yeah, it's essentially it's a newer ETA movement they use in a few of the Hamiltons as well, but it's a really heavily modified 2824. So what they did, they took the 2824, which runs at 28,800 BPH, yeah. They dropped down that to 21,600, and what that actually equated to was a 80-hour power reserve. So I think that's pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah. And then when you go with 100-meter water resistance, sapphire crystal, and ceramic bezel, I think that's it's a good package. It's a well-spec'd watch. The spec sheet is pretty damn nice. The reason why this caught my attention, because before, I mean, Rado, I mean,
No, I always knew they make good watches, but nothing ever, I mean, nothing really came out, nothing kind of sprang.
No, because I think they're more into like, spang. They are into more like fancy finishes and stuff like that. I mean, I just see them as like a tag or like a long jeans. That's the kind of thing you see.
Which isn't a bad thing,
no,
it's not something that's really caught my attention. But this is a beautiful watch. It really is.
Yeah.
But we said before that they make 500,000 watches every year, really. Yeah. And I don't know a single person really with
one of these. No,
I don't personally. I don't.
But it's just a different market. We forget sometimes we're in our own little bubble. Like watch people think it's only watch people that buy watches, but it's not.
These are massive in India.
Yeah, exactly. You've got different markets. It's not the UK. I know everyone in the UK thinks it is just the UK that rules the world, but
not anymore, my friend.
No, unfortunately,
that ship has sailed.
Yes, quite literally. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a brand out there that's doing bloody well, and I think they got the massive market at the minute for like the reissue divers, and this is a fantastic reissue.
It's such an honest skin diver that's so genuine to the.
The only thing that's different, apart from like the ETA movement, which is obviously it's nice to have a better movement anyway, and it's not exactly got an exhibition case back, so you're not going to see the movement. So the difference is the sapphire crystal and the ceramic bezel.
That's it.
Welcome changes. It's a great tool watch, so why not improve on it?
But it's quite a tricky tool watch as well, you know, because of the size, because it's such a small size in comparison to other divers out there. And because it's all so highly polished throughout, I mean, you could wear that, not quite, mind you, dress watch, maybe?
Yeah, almost.
Maybe? Yeah, I think that'll fit under
I'll try it out and let you know. So yeah, what's your standout feature on the watch?
I love the handset. The handset's really, really cool. It's that big old fat arrowhead. Which I don't know if you can call it that, but...
Yeah, I think it's a really nice, as you say, it's stand out because it's so unique. You don't really see that on
No, you don't at all.
And it's so highly polished as well. When the second hand goes over it, you get some really nice reflections, which I really quite like.
The whole dial, it's so well balanced. I mean, it's an unusual colour because you don't normally get a brown watch, do you, really? I mean, it's in keeping with the fact it's in the 60s and, you know, people have brown cars. And
I'm just not into brown, really, normally. I mean, you?
Brilliant.
It's such a strange colour, isn't it? But it works on this watch. It really does work. And as you say, it is in keeping. I mean, Brown was just getting into fashion in the 60s and 70s, wasn't it? It makes the watch unique, doesn't it? It really does make the watch unique.
Yeah.
And that's what, as I say, so the arrow hands, the dial, they're the standout features.
But also the exclamation of the red as well. It makes such
those little details.
Yeah, it does. But it in keeps as well with the date wheel, because really unusually it's red as well on the date wheel.
Yeah, the font on the date wheel is red, and that matches in with the logo. But then the actual date disc itself is like a really nice. It's like a sparkly silver, actually, when you look at it really close. It's absolutely fantastic. And then when you have like the old-fashioned Captain Cook script across the bottom as well, I think that really suits the watch. And I just think
it's simple, it's clean, but at the same time you've got the date complication as well, which normally if I was looking at a vintage watch, I'd normally go, do you know what, I prefer having no date, but it really works on that. Captain Cook, that's one of the things I don't like. I mean, I didn't really like the name.
Yeah, but it was named after an explorer, wasn't it? And not like a pirate like we was taking
Long John Silver.
But yeah, Captain Cook, he was an explorer. So everyone was just getting into that kind of.
Yeah, how much diving did they do in the 60s?
I know.
I mean, everyone
they're just so popular, aren't they?
They loved a bit of diving.
But and how popular is it now to now bring out all the reissue vintage divers?
They've done it really well.
And this is the only one that I think is like really true to the original one.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few reissues, and a lot of the time, especially when you get the 40s kind of military watches, the faux patina is so obvious. Whereas on that, okay, it's got faux patina on the indices, but it's quite subtle. It's subtle. It's subtle.
And I don't think that this would work if it didn't have that faux patina.
No, absolutely not.
So,
and then what you mean if it was like bright white or something on there?
A really fresh, crisp white would just be
it works. It works to the brand dial. It does.
Yeah, everything just ties in quite nicely. It's not an overly finished watch or anything like that, which is not going to be at that price.
It's highly polished though. You mean the dial, or
you've not got like loads of different finishes. Everything's kind of a simple thing. It's not over engineered. It's not really expensive processes. It's all just nice and simple, but it works so well.
It does.
And it makes a watch that looks more expensive than it actually is.
Yeah, what is the retail?
About £1,700, I think.
Really? That's good.
I think it's just such a great value for money watch.
The side profile is awesome as well, because it's such a thin watch, but the way the coin edge
looks vintage instantly.
It does. The way the kind of coin edge bezel kind of tapers over the edge, it works
it does,
well.
Yeah.
And they've not gone all fancy, like you said. They're not showing off the ETA at the back, and why would you? It's just not needed.
And it wears so well. I mean, everyone is obviously... But the biggest complaints, obviously, apart from the faux patina, is the size. 37.3mm case diameter, which at first I was worried about it, but on the wrist, it fits so comfortably. It looks fantastic, actually. And it wears bigger than
maybe. I think the reason it wears bigger, even though it's only got a 43 lug to lug, I reckon it's the skinny lugs kind of accentuate a little bit. It just makes it look a little bit bigger than it is.
Yeah.
It wears lovely. And
then talking about the other little details, obviously Rado, I didn't know this, that the anchor actually moves in the little red logo when you do that. The logo moves well, like the Rolls Royce hubcaps. They kind of stay the same, and that kind of does the same thing. So I think that's a really nice touch, actually.
I agree.
I think this watch is full of character and charm for something.
I think charm is the right word. I think it's really. I even quite like the leather. I mean, people say don't put leather on a diver, but I think that I've said that in the past. I don't like leather on divers as a rule.
I do. I mean, it's not a diver, but a tall watch, and I put this same leather strap on my sub. I think it works. It just makes it look even more vintage. It just keeps with the keeping. I mean, the strap isn't too bad really for a standard one. I mean,
I think it's alright.
The clasp buckle thing is pretty rubbish. But I mean, what do you expect?
No.
For how cheap these are, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And obviously, the original 1962 wasn't that popular. Only 5,000 pieces. This is limited to 1,962 pieces, but they brought this out 2 years ago, and they're still in the shop now. I reckon it probably isn't limited to 1,962 pieces. How could they, for a watch company that sells like 500,000 watches a year, how can you have not sold all of your...
But then again, people might just go for the bigger version. People might go for that bigger version.
That's a good point. No, that was my ring, actually.
That was it.
That's a good point, actually. And
That's what it's going to be, right?
You can go out and just get a 42mm Captain Cook. If you really are obsessed with the fact that it's too small, then get the larger one. And they even do that on a bracelet as well. If the lever's your hang up, then they do it on a bracelet. So
I mean, I know that you mentioned as well, like, you're not really touched on criticism people, apart from the fact it's a bit, people say it's too small. Another strange criticism I heard people say was that the way the bezel, yeah, it is bezel,
yeah,
but it contours. It kind of goes inwards slightly.
Yeah.
And people have been saying, well, as a diver, you know, the water's going to get like stuck there and like not flow off. But I'm thinking if you're underwater, that doesn't matter because you're underwater.
What have you been listening to?
All sorts. Yeah, I've no idea. I just heard that.
That seems mad.
People also moan it's okay, fair enough. It doesn't have the screwed down crown.
But who cares? No one's going to go past 100 meters in this watch.
Not unless,
if you're going proper scuba diving, you are not going to be wearing.
You can have a paddle on this. You can go for a little spin. Do your breaststroke, even a bit of butterfly if that takes your fancy.
I'm going on holiday in a few weeks, and when I'm swimming with the fishies, I will be wearing that.
What accent was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
South African for a second.
Yeah, we've got to stop accents on this.
I know.
But, yeah, no, I'll be wearing that. So it's not going to bother me that it's not 200 meters.
No, you're not fancying that when you're in Crete.
No, I can barely swim, mate, to be fair.
I can imagine that. Just you on your lilo.
With my armbands. Help! Oh, yeah, I'm not going to... I don't care, and I think anyone who's moaning at that is not a 200-metre watch. Just...
There's other watches out there that you'd wear for diving, right? So it doesn't really matter. It's a vintage diving-inspired watch, if you will. I think that's probably the best way to put it. And it's wonderful. I think it's really, really smart. And
better than the Oris Diver 65.
Ooh, okay.
That is, I think, my final kind of point on that. It is better than the Oris Diver 65. It feels better built. The vintage feels better. It's got more character, and I think it looks better. It's better value for money.
It has got loads of character to watch, but yeah, I think that's interesting. We need to review an RS65 against it, I think, at some point.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah,
so I'm just thinking out loud then.
Yeah. So yeah, if you've liked this video, drop a comment below. Well, actually, give us a like, then drop a comment below and tell us what you think of the Rado and what you'd rather, what other vintage-inspired divers you actually prefer. And yeah, again, please subscribe. It really helps us out, and we'll be back with a new video soon.
See you soon.
Bye.